Welcome to West Virginia Uncommonplace. Today I have a rather different kind of guest. I actually have another podcaster on here with me. Her name is Jasmine Garcia. So, Jasmine Garcia, this is what I need you to do for my crowd. Tell them about yourself.
All right. So first of all, thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Okay.
I've never been asked to do this before. So about me. All right. A few things. I just started a podcast. I'm pretty excited about that right now. It's something that it's in March. I saw that Anchor app, and I don't know why. Ever since I saw that Anchor app, ideas were just coming in my head. And ever since that, it's just things were just flowing. So that's why my podcast, I think, um, the idea behind it, real people, real life situations, um, that alone is actually really it's just something that I feel really like I just want people. The point is that I want people to just face what's coming right now. It's like I just want everybody to be positive. So I feel like the reason behind this podcast is that I want everybody to be real and I want everybody to talk about their real life situations. Um, so that's one thing. Podcast. I love traveling. Last year, I went through Europe. I was there for like 17 days.
Ooh.
So I love traveling. I went for a drum and bass concert. One of my best friends, she wanted to go to this rave. It's called Sun and Bass, but she didn't want
Okay.
to go alone. So she invited me to go with her. Have you heard of Sun and Bass?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's in Italy. It was in Sardinia, Italy last year. It's like a week event. Nothing but badass, just DJs. So that was something else that I'm into. I love traveling. Um, what else? Yeah, I'm that's really it.
All right, so
I think.
so so let's tie into this. You kept saying a podcast, this podcast, but you didn't name your podcast. So what's the name of
Oh,
your
can I just
podcast?
say jazz? Can I just say jazz?
All right, in the
So
concept behind it.
it's because so I'm always saying that I'm always just like, can I just say? I mean, I know I don't say my name, but I'm always like, can I just say? Because I feel like when I say that, it's because I want to say something important and I want you to hear me. Like I'm like, hey, can I just say though?
Okay.
So that's the point. That's the name of my podcast. Can I just say jazz? So the point is when I interview somebody, um, as I'm asking them the question, they're supposed to say, hey, can I just say though, and then they're supposed to answer the question.
Okay.
So
So what is the next big thing for your podcast?
I'm actually going to do an interview at 6. It's going to be for the election.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got something serious going on. And she's saying 6 Pacific
Hmm.
time because I'm on the East Coast, she's on the West Coast.
Oh, yeah. 6, sorry. Pacific time, Cali, California. I live in South Bay, Torrance. I don't know if anybody's heard of it, kind of by like Redondo Beach. You see my cats back there?
Yeah, I see your cat. And audience, you have to understand this once again, like I've always said, I started doing this Zoom thing where I interview people, I dump the video, I keep the audio. It's a crazy concept, but it works. Is that how you're doing yours, or how are you doing yours through the Anchor
No,
app?
so I don't know how you're doing that. I don't have all that. I just record from my phone. So that's what I'm doing. I'm recording from my phone. And then if I do want to record video, I'll just have like my brother or something record from his phone so I can still use my phone. I haven't
Oh,
gotten that serious with it. The podcast, honestly, it was just for fun, but now it looks like a lot of people are actually really interested in it. And now it's kind of just taking off more.
yeah.
So
And don't
it
you
was
like
just
that?
really for fun.
And don't you like that traction you're getting from your podcast? Because it's like you started out
Yeah.
like I just started mine as a hobby. Look, let me tell you how nerd based mine is. I went out there
Yeah.
and let me grab this little thing real quick. I grabbed miniature projectors. We all of them people
Hmm.
out here in the woods. We use them camping and different things like that to watch movies. So I just started really just doing projector reviews. The next thing you know, somebody's like, "Stop doing that. Only do that once in a while. Bring guests on." Make it more interesting. You're
Okay.
from West
Yeah.
Virginia. It's the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, so definitely that's how I kicked it and got things going. So here's another question for you because I like to keep things organic, but then I like to do that little interview thing real fast.
Yeah.
Um
Sorry, I'm like, I don't even, when it's you, you're like, what do you say? I don't know. It's me.
yeah, it's kind of
So I'm like,
crazy.
ask away. Ask
All
me
right,
any
so
question.
I'll tell you something funny. I think I didn't hit the record button earlier, so everything that we did in the just a little while ago, probably not even there. I thought I hit the record
Okay,
button.
whatever.
Yeah, but whatever, so it's there. So your message across social media, what is that? What is your message across social media?
So uh, honestly, positivity, all
Okay.
about being happy. I know sometimes it comes off as like, I don't know, sometimes they're like, how can you be happy every day? There's so many negative things going on in the world. But no, I think that's why I'm always trying to post like positivity, something funny. I don't know, you haven't really followed me for that long, but I don't really post anything negative or having to do with politics or anything that may be going on right now, like news wise.
Yes.
It's just, yeah, all positivity, all
Yeah.
just forward,
And that's one of those things
being happy.
that with my podcast too, I steer clear of the whole political scene and things like that because there's a lot of podcasts for activism and all that other stuff. And like you said, positivity
Yeah.
is something that we're trying to bring out there. All right, so I looked through your Instagram, seen a few pictures, and I noticed you had a camera. You take
Oh yeah.
pictures. What kind of
Yeah.
camera do you use? And what
It
gave you?
was
Go ahead. Hold on for 1 second. So you take pictures with this camera. What kind of camera do you have? And here's the next part of that question: what inspired you to start taking pictures? Because not everybody takes pictures. Some people will have anxiety of taking pictures.
so okay, the whole thing with the pictures. I've always really been into taking pictures. I always feel like I have like an eye every time I'm anywhere with anybody. I'm always like, oh my God, you see that? Beautiful. Like it's just I see something and I just I don't know, I feel like I have like an eye for it. So that's one. And then two, I started taking pictures and I started getting comments back like, wow, these are really good pictures. I even to the point got a picture in an art show in San Diego.
Whoa!
It's La Bodega, I forget what it's called now. La Bodega Art Gallery. It's in San Diego. Um, but the camera I have, I actually sold it because I wasn't using it.
Whoa!
But it was the RX 360, I believe. Yeah, it was 36. It was 360 bucks, but I had it for a while. Someone else needed it.
Yeah, it happens that way.
And I have a Google phone. I feel like I take a lot better pictures with it. Honestly, it's weird.
Oh, your
Like all the
Google.
pictures you're probably talking about, it's probably just with my Google phone.
Oh Lord, your team Google.
even my even my video, a lot of people comment like, wow, it looks so real. But I think it's just my Google phone.
All right, so you must have a Pixel or something. Um, and I'm sorry,
Yeah,
guess I'm sorry, guess that she
Google
even told y'all.
Pixel.
I'm sorry, guys, that she told y'all anything about that because over here we're team iPhone. Everything's we're actually talking on a
I
MacBook.
can't.
We're on a MacBook right now
Uh,
talking.
I
So
I started with iPhone. Okay, so you start with that, and then I went to the whole Android, and then after a while, I think just 4 years ago, when the first Google Pixel phone came out, just been addicted since.
and it's
I like the
understandable.
phone; it's pretty cool.
Yeah, everybody has their choices on things like that. Um,
Yeah.
so here's the thing: your podcast, you're building on your podcast. Are you going to take it over to the YouTube side and start doing video portions of your podcast?
So I'm trying to go to that. So okay. So what I wanted to do originally, I have a friend that draws, so I wanted him to do drawings of me and my guest and then make it into like a cartoon, like make it look cool.
Right.
Just so people pay attention. I don't want to get bored. I don't know. Just make it fun. But that didn't really work out. But we'll see. Maybe that's in the future. But
I,
today is actually the first day I'm going to do a video. I'm only going to do the first part. I'm only going to ask her like a few questions and then I'll end it when she's about to answer. And then that's it. So it's just like a test run. We'll see how it goes. you know?
Okay. So you're just getting your legs running, and that's
Yeah, we'll
something.
see.
And that's something you do somewhat. You go out in the mountains out there and travel around and go up summits, or what
Yeah.
are you going up out there?
Hiking? Yeah. Okay, so is there any hiking spots out like where you live or
Yeah, West Virginia is nothing but a mountain.
no? Those you're like, girl. So yeah, I just went this past weekend. It's called so it's Mount Baldy, and Mount Baldy is connected with Cucamonga Peak and another one called Ontario Peak. I did those two, just not Mount Baldy because that one I don't know how much more feet that is in elevation, but yeah, it was 8,600 the one I just did.
Whoa,
8,660 feet elevation. Took 7 hours. I went by myself.
whoa. Probably shouldn't
Yeah.
do that, but as long as you made it
No, I
back.
like that type of stuff. I like that. I don't know why. I like just being alone, walking around in nature. You know, you have your time to yourself, time to think.
Yeah, I can see that. But out where I'm at, it's nothing but rocks, coal. Um,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can do a lot of rock climbing and wild stuff. You would enjoy West Virginia, I can tell. Waterfalls and all that extra stuff. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah.
amazing. So we'll keep going with this. Um, so you started your podcast. You started your first one in September. Had the idea in March. I always ask people, what would you tell somebody that wants to do a podcast? How would you inspire them? Because every podcaster has a story on how they got into it. But how would you tell somebody that wants to do a podcast? Where would you tell them to start? Where would you tell them not to go with things?
So honestly, I would just say do what you want. Like if you have an idea, just go with it. Don't be afraid. My ideas, honestly, when I first started it, I got a lot of bad feedback, but I still went with it. Like even my own family was talking smack to me like you really think you can do this? No, just do it. It doesn't have to be something like professional where you have so much experience on it. No. Just if you want to do it, just do it. Have fun with it. And look at we're having fun with this and look at we look like if we've done this for years.
Yeah, I mean, you look really
You
serious.
know,
I
like
mean, you position a plant behind you and everything. You got like the perfect
I,
plants. You're like, I can't even do it. I don't have a plant. I got a jug behind me. You know.
you know, like it just flows. That's why I don't know if you heard my last one. It's kind of long. The last one I just released
Yeah.
today actually.
Yeah. I listened to a little bit
But
of it.
I'm explaining that it took me a while, you know, to get back in the flow after my first episode because I just wasn't really feeling inspired. Yeah, I had the questions and the lineup of guests, but I just wasn't feeling it.
Right.
But
And that,
now I feel like I'm back in the flow.
yeah. And that's one thing with the creative juice is like, I'll just say from my point of view, like what happened to me, like I had two monumental guests. Like I had a lady that writes children's books. Then I had the West Virginia Farmers Market
Hmm.
Association. So I got like a lot of
Oh wow.
reviews. I shot through the roof, and I didn't have anything to
Yeah.
come. I didn't have anything to come back with. So I was like, "What? How do you capitalize on that? You just lose that momentum." So I let the momentum die down, and all I had was like some old podcasts that I had. They were just run of the mill. There was nothing special about them. So I pumped out two of those, and then I have he's not a co-host, but I have a guest, my cousin, and he boosts my ratings up. He's like my
Oh,
weekend
cool.
guy. So I brought him in, and he kept the momentum going. And then this week, I have like a subtle another book a book person or author. I said a book person. I'm going retarded. An author that has a strong story. So like just in where you're starting new, do it at your own pace because what I've done, I've made a machine now. Like it's so concentrated now. Like even what I do, like me and you are interviewing right now, right? And there was an interview
Yeah.
that like I'm so tight with time now. Like if you hadn't like your window, I give a window like of 8:15. If you can't make it, there's someone after you. You know, so
Yeah.
don't let your podcast get like that. Like that's one thing I'm regretting now because I have so many guests that I can't promise them when I will put their episode out. You know,
Got you. Yeah.
so
But
so
see,
go
because you're
ahead.
doing it differently, aren't you? You're getting your guests from like a different area. Like I'm getting my guests are like actual people that either I know or maybe someone recommended to me or maybe someone reached out to me, so that's why I'm not as popular as you yet.
Oh no, you're
I
popular in your
said
own right.
yet.
No, well, I'll tell you this. This is my switch on guests. I actually have my local guests, like people that I know. Actually,
Okay.
I got one of the people that inspired me. She's a photographer like you to a degree, but she's a photojournalist. So I interviewed her. I did all my
Oh,
local people, but for some reason, like I said, I got ahead of popularity with those two West Virginians because I don't normally do anything with West Virginians. And
yeah.
after that, it was just whatever. So going
Yeah.
forward with podcasts, and I don't know how you're going to deal with yours, but you're with your formula is good because you're making people want to come back. You're going to have lots of people. You want to retain listeners because a lot of people I listen to their podcasts, and some of them, I'm not saying they're trash ass or anything like that, but some people just like it's just like they're just pumping out whatever.
Well,
Just
I mean, I was just gonna say that as well because, I mean, I don't really okay, so with my podcast, I make my own format. Like I put my segments where I want. I don't really follow anybody else's structure, like how you're supposed to release the podcast, like, the intro, the ending, whatever. I kind of just do what I want. But that's what I've been noticing because I've been kind of like venturing out just to listen to other people's podcasts, like on the apps,
yes,
And you're right. Some of them are just like if like it's just a conversation, like if they're in the bathroom, like it's weird and it's just about nothing and it's maybe a 4-minute podcast. Like, wait, I'm confused. Like, what is this? Was this a commercial or
right.
so
So,
yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah.
like and I want you to take this away from me if I don't tell you anything else. My intent with any podcast, just like with what we're doing now, because I know you're on a limited time right now. Um, this podcast is supposed to be to the extent of somebody being able to listen to it on their drive to work, on their drive wherever. So I try to
Yeah.
give a concentrated effort that tight, you know. But like you said, the little 4-minute ones, and then what gets me is some of these ones that are less minutes or that are very small. They seem like the trailers that you would do because my trailer's 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, and if you're gonna release something that short, at least have something behind it. Like at least let it be something that was just so powerful that it had to only be 4 minutes, Like, oh, okay, cool, it's done. Like more, that was it, you know?
Right,
So I think that's where I'm coming from. It's like it's fine to do that, but just at least let it be an episode where it's just like, wow, okay, I want to come back now, not just wait, is that really what I'm gonna keep listening to?
right,
What was
right.
this about?
Yeah, like a little
You
excitement.
know?
That's why I do my little dynamic. Like if you do have you a co-host or as I call a recurring guest on your podcast, like I throw him in. Like we're doing an adult subject, ghosting. Everybody's got ghosted. You've been ghosted probably only once, but you know
Oh,
you know how that is. So like my adult thing will come out Saturday night, just because it just fits the mood,
yeah,
or and like that's
yeah,
kind of how I'm rolling with my podcast, like that really edgy stuff. I'll do it on Saturday night during the week because I don't know
yeah,
I don't know my other demographic. I don't know who's listening during the week, but I know at night I'll get a few people like that. So since you said you're doing yours unstructured, what are you going to do 4 podcasts from now?
wait, I'm sorry, what am I gonna do for a podcast now? What do you mean?
No, what are you going to do 4 podcasts from now? So 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to your fourth podcast, what are you going to be doing?
Oh. I don't know. So okay, so yeah, I don't know yet. You're saying like what's gonna be my fourth episode?
Yeah, what are you going to do when you get 4 episodes in? So like to your sixth episode, are you thinking that far, or are you just
I
going to
don't I
just
don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna keep flowing with it. I kind of like I have already guests and people that want to do things. So like after election, this episode that's gonna come up next Tuesday, I'm gonna do an interview with Dante Hill. That's gonna be the
oh
fourth one.
whoa
He's a pro skater.
okay
We're gonna do the topics BLM,
oh yes
and
yes
I'm
yes
probably gonna go skate with him. So I'm gonna get my roller skates and skate with him. So that's what I'm saying. Like I can't say what's going to happen, because like I said, I really just flow with my ideas
Yeah,
and what
you're
I'm
just.
feeling at that moment. I just do it. It's weird.
I'm
Like
gonna
I
have to.
have to feel it before I do it. It's weird.
You're gonna have to change yours to the extreme games or something like that, because that's what it sounds like. All right, so we're getting to the close of the podcast. There's something that I do on my show that I get everybody to do, and I hope that you haven't listened so that you're not aware of it. You got to tell
Oh
us
yeah.
something. You got to tell us something real quick. You got to tell us about a hidden talent, or you got to tell us something that no one knows about you that they're going to know about you today. Because my audience likes when people get out of their comfort zone and tell something about themselves.
Hmm. Well, I mean, only few people know about this, but like right now it's happening. I mean, it's not like a talent. I talked about this on my podcast, but like when I get a little nervous, um, my hands get so sweaty.
Oh.
And I would consider that a hidden talent because I could sweat on demand.
So you can sweat like
Like
a gallon of water out of your hands?
yes, like my hand will be the driest. We're in the winter time in the snow. Like it could be below zero, okay? And something happens where I get nervous or I want to get sweaty. I do it. I just can do it on demand. It's weird. I can sweat on demand. I even said something to my friend. I'm like X-Men, like those how they have different characters in X-Men.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sweat woman.
Sweaty Garcia.
Like I'm just like shh. So I mean, I
Okay.
know it's something super silly, but yeah.
That's amazing. All right. So what we do at the very end of the show here, is there somebody in the background that has helped you, guided you, or made you feel comfortable with doing a podcast? Is there a mom, sister, uncle, dad, cousin, third best friend that helped you along the way?
Mm-mm.
Just
No, it was
so
just really on me.
wow.
I even came to my that's what I'm saying in the beginning. What I was saying was I even came to my family members like so I had the idea and then I wanted to review the idea before I actually came out with it because I was like, okay, does this even sound cool? Like, is this gonna be something like, because it's a side little fun project for me, but other people are gonna see it as like, no, this is like a real deal podcast because they see it on all the platforms and Spotify. So it has to be something, you know,
Right.
that it's so anyway, so yeah, honestly, instantly one of my cousins, I asked her if she wanted to be my first guest. I yeah, I look up to her, but she automatically declined me. She told me how weird I was for even trying to do this, and that was it. So trust me, I came to one of my family members, and after that I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep running with my ideas. Why go to somebody else, so it's just all my inspiration, I guess.
Okay.
And social media and the world, that's everything. Yeah, it
Okay.
inspires
So
my thoughts.
the last thing that you got to do real quick, and this is a got to plug everything, your Instagram, wherever you want people to know where they can find you, the name of your podcast, blah 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 blah. Go ahead and plug it.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so Jasmine, Jasmine Garcia with Can I Just Say Jazz? So that's my podcast. Can I Just Say Jazz? Like you spell jazz, like Jazz. I'm on all platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. My Instagram is Florecita Jazz. It's flower in Spanish, and then jazz, Jazz. And that's really it. I don't have anything else. YouTube. And I forgot, I do beats. I'm on SoundCloud. I'm just jazz. So just and jazz. I'm on SoundCloud. I love just messing with beats and just doing random things. It doesn't have to be a certain genre, but it's just if I like it, I do it. And then I'll create a video behind it. Like I'll get even my own videos that I'll do like my travel videos. So that's on YouTube. So YouTube, it's also just jazz. YouTube, I have my beats on there. My videos behind my beats I create. I do cool little visuals. It's pretty cool. You should check it out too, dude.
Oh well.
And pretty soon, hopefully, I'll probably have some podcast videos on there too. But yeah, that's really it. Spotify for your podcast for my podcast, and Instagram.
No, no,
Florecita Jazz.
no. You don't have any iHeart Radio?
No, not yet.
Step your game up.
Yeah, not yet. I think I have to like step to like another level. I don't know how that goes.
It's a little workaround, but you can get to it. So
Yeah,
once
I just
again,
know. Yeah, I think I stopped at Breaker, I believe. Breaker, but
okay,
I'm on Google Podcasts, but I stopped at Breaker. I have Anchor. I have yeah.
probably 12 platforms altogether, so you may not need iHeartRadio.
Hmm.
But anyway, I want to thank you for being a guest on West Virginia Uncommonplace. In the
Yeah,
future,
thank you for having me.
in the future, I'd love to have you come back for when we do a roundup on a major topic. What my goal is to build up
Yeah.
a few guests here and there. You're on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I need to get me a down south. I need to get me a maybe not a Midwest person because Midwest is just whatever it is. Somebody in the North, and then we have a big old debate. Not anything crazy, just pop culture.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely do that. So once again, I want to thank you for being on West Virginia and Commonplace. And do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I'm just
Okay.
very grateful. Thank you. And oh, one more thing. Everybody be happy.
Okay.
Just always positive, okay?
Thank you.
You only got one life to live.